All of us want to make healthcare decisions based on the best available research evidence, but this is complex. Healthcare guidelines are a source of support for decision making because they are developed by panels of people with access to the available evidence, an understanding of the clinical problem, and of research methods, and they have sufficient time for reflection. But guidelines are typically developed as a one-size-fits-all package, with little or no attempt to tailor the guideline for particular audiences. Even if the guideline developer has an audience in mind, the way information is presented may not really consider the needs of that audience, or indeed how they might actually want to use the guideline. And this is where the DECIDE project comes in. DECIDE was funded by the European Union and worked on innovative ways to present research evidence in guidelines. It built on an earlier work done by a group called the GRADE Working Group. DECIDE researchers in 7 countries thought about guidelines in terms of who would be using them, and then tested lots of ways of presenting research information to them. One thing in particular came through very strongly. People want information delivered in layers. In other words, they don't want all the information in one go. They want it in stages, with the most important information coming first. The most important information is usually the recommendation. What should we do? After that, people might, though only might, want to know why the recommendation is the way it is. Some people want to see the full evidence behind a recommendation, or want to know what other patients' preferences are, for example. DECIDE now has concrete suggestions of how this sort of information can be presented in guidelines meant for different types of user. But this is not all that DECIDE has done. The panels that produce guidelines have a difficult job of working through the evidence to reach a recommendation. DECIDE, evidence to decision frameworks, aim to make this process easier by providing both a structure and a tool for a consistent and transparent approach to using evidence when making a recommendation. Another tool, the Interactive Summary of Findings table, allows users to tailor a presentation to their own needs, and almost all of DECIDE's work is packaged into a tool called GRADE Pro. GRADE Pro, and the link to the GRADE Working Group, means that guideline producers and others will benefit from DECIDE's results well beyond the end of the project. For more information, please visit www.decide-collaboration.eu.